Okay, on number 5, notice we're missing the x squared again, so don't forget we're going to put in 0 for x squared. You have to be aware of when things are missing, and you have to put a 0 in its place. So our degree is still 3. We should have 3 zeros here if everything goes as planned. Notice our p is 30, so that means 1, 2, well, we have a lot of choices. 3, these are all factors of 30, right? 4, 5 times 6 is 30, 3 times 10 is 30, 2 times 15 is 30, 1 times 30 is 30. Our Q, fortunately, is still only a 1. That keeps things a little bit simpler. But our possible zeros are plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 5, plus or minus 6, plus or minus 10, plus or minus 15, plus or minus 30. Because all of those divided by 1 is just itself, right? So this one could be a pain. I'm going to have to write a little bit smaller here. I have 1, 0, negative 19, and negative 30. Now, I guess we'll just start with 1. We bring down the 1. We get 1, 1. 1 times 1, negative 18. Negative 18. Now, see how we got a huge negative? That means 1 is not even close. So why don't we try, we'll go positive here. Why don't we try 3? Okay? Because if this was a small negative, then I would probably try 2. So it's kind of a guessing game here. So this time we're trying 3. We bring down the 1, we get 3, 9, that's negative 10. We get negative 30. So that's negative 60. Now see how it got even freaking bigger. So what that tells me, instead of, I went from 1 to 3. See, it's kind of like a high-low game here. Why don't we go the exact opposite way and try like negative 1 instead? Okay, so now pause the video if you need to, so I'm going to erase this here. Okay, so that's a negative 30, right? So let's try negative 1. So we bring down the 1, negative 1, let's see here, well, that's negative 1, 1, negative 18, 18, negative 12. Okay, we're getting closer to 0. So let's try negative 2. Okay, so I'm going to write over in red. So we bring down the 1, we times by the negative 2, we get negative 2, so that's negative 2. We get a 4. 4 minus 19 is negative 15. Times negative 2 is 30. Yes, we got our 0. So we now know that negative 2 is one of our 3 zeros. So now, let's take this and factor it. X squared minus 2x minus 15. So that's going to be x times x. Again, you should just be doing the x method, even though I'm doing it in my head here. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So this tells me negative 3 is a 0. This tells me that 5 is a 0. So hopefully you're starting to get the method down. You do synthetic until you get a 0. Take what's left over, make it into an x squared, and go from there. Ooh, we got an x4. So we should have 4 zeros this time. All right, our q is still 1. Our p is 4, so that means it's 1, 2, or 4, right? 2 times 2 is 4, 1 times 4 is 4. So our possible zeros are plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, or plus or minus 4. Again, this time there's no zeros needed. I have a 1x4, 2x3, minus 3x squared, minus 8, minus 4. And we might as well start with 1 since they want to do that. Bring down the 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 and 1 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 minus 8 is negative 8. Negative 8 and negative 4 is negative 12. So 1 did not work. Okay, let's start over. 1, 2, negative 3, negative 8, negative 4. This time, let's see here. Should we try negative 1? Why not? Negative 1, bring down the 1. Negative 1 is 1. Negative 1 is negative 4. 4 minus 8 is negative 4. Well, I'll be darned. We're getting lucky with that negative 1. Don't think negative 1 is always going to be a root, by the way. So see how we got a 0? Now our problem this time, so we know negative 1 is one of, but we still have 3 left over. So now we're going to take this right here, you see, and we're just going to keep doing synthetic with that. Since we got this 0, we now are down to an x cubed, see? So we already tried 1 and negative 1. You know what? Let's try 2. Bring down the 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 3. 6 minus 4 is 2. Oh my God, I got lucky. Look at that. So 2 gave me a 0 also. Now, this what's left over is an x squared. So we have x squared plus 3x plus 2. Now let's do the x method. I'm doing in my head, but you do the x method. I get plus 2 times plus 1. So this is telling me negative 2. This is telling me a negative 1 again. So negative 1 again is a double root. So we have a double root with a 2 and a negative 2. And that makes a total of 4.